Welcome to Agam's lecture series, a series of lectures designed to bring comfort to the learning to the comfort of your home. Your lecturer still remains Agama U Agama. And today we are going to discuss the subject, we're continuing the discussion of the subject General Laboratory Techniques, coded GLT 111. And today's topic, we are going to discuss the biological aspects of general laboratory techniques. And we're going to concentrate today on microscopes. Microscopes. Microscope. What is a microscope? A microscope is a device used to view and determine the morphological characteristics of microbes. It is used to view and determine the morphological or structural characteristics of microbes. It increases the size of these microbes so that it can be visible to the naked eyes. Therefore, microscope is a device used to view objects or organisms that are tiny, that cannot be easily seen with the naked eyes. Now, microscopes are generally of two kinds: the light microscope and the electron microscope. Generally two kinds: those that use light and those that use electrons, so electricity. Then types. There are different types of microscopes. One, bright field microscope. Bright field. This microscope forms a black image on a white screen board. It forms a black image on a white screen board. They are called bright field microscopes. The second one is dark field microscope. They produce black background images. Black background images. Then we have ultraviolet field microscope, UV field microscope. This UV field microscope increase the power of microscopes, and they have shorter wavelength than visible light. They increase the power of microscopes, and they have shorter wavelength than visible light. Then we have fluorescent microscopes. Fluorescent microscopes. They use the principle of fluorescence. Fluorescence is when light shines on a metal and the metal gives out light. That's fluorescence. So this microscope uses the principle of fluorescence to view tiny objects. 5, we have phase contrast microscope. Phase contrast microscope. This microscope views cells in liquid media, like different cells. Like if you are viewing Plasmodium that causes malaria in blood is a liquid media. If you view amoeba in a pond of water, that's a liquid media. They view cells in liquid media. Then we have electron microscope. This is the microscope with the highest power, the highest resolution power. Things that cannot be seen with ordinary microscope, like viruses, will be seen by electron microscope. In fact, it's the most modern, is the costliest. It has the highest magnifying power in all microscopes put together. Now, it increased the resolution power of microscopes to view very tiny objects. Now, there are two types of electron microscope. There are two types of electron microscope. The one we abbreviated as TEM, transmission electron microscope. We abbreviate as TEM, T-E-M, transmission electron microscope. They reveal the internal details of organisms. They do reveal the internal details of organisms. Then we have the second one, SEM, scanning electron microscope, abbreviated as SEM. They reveal the surface details of organisms. You can see the two. One reveals internal details, the other one reveals the external details. Now we are now going to look at microscope by looking at a typical microscope, the compound microscope. The compound microscope. Compound microscope, as you can see anatomy. Otherwise, the structure of a compound microscope. As you can see, this is the eyepiece of the oculars where you place your eyes. This is the nose piece, especially the revolve. The revolve is that you can turn. You can see this one, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can turn and use any of them depending on the power of magnification, depending on how you want to enlarge the organism. You can see there's times 10, there's times 20, there's times 40, there's times 100. As you want to increase the magnifying power, you can rotate it to use one. Each of the eyes is called the objective that you then use to focus on the object. Then this is the stage where you place the slide, where the specimen is. This stage. Sometimes we don't call the mechanical what? Stage. Within this stage, there's a smaller place where you now put the slide and hold it, which is called the sub stage. But the whole of this is called the what? Stage. Condenser. If light is coming from this source, condenser is to now concentrate the light and place it close to the objects so that you can see very clearly. Then coarse knob is used to adjust this slide up and down. You can see the coarse knob and you can see the fine coarse knob. You use them. The fine one is this knob at the tip. The coarse one is the bigger round one. So use both of them to adjust this stage. Then this is mechanical stage knob. If you adjust one, this stage can go up or it can go down. Then this is power, your source of power, where the light is coming from. Like you have a lamp here. Then this is now the base of the what? Microscope. The base of the microscope where it rests. If you want to carry the microscope, you hold it by the arm. If you want to carry the microscope, you don't go and hold it here. Or you hold it by the what? Arm. Put one right hand on the arm and put left hand on the base so that you can carry it so it will not fall. You know it's a very sensitive what? Equipment and costly too. This is another version. See where we now place it in another version, so you can see the different versions and the different what stages of it. Now, how do you care for the microscope? For you to clean the microscope, there are special xylene, there are special liquids for what? Cleaning what? The microscope. There are special filter cleaning papers for cleaning the what? Microscope. After using the microscope, store it in this what? Cupboard so that it will not gather what? Dust. Use cotton wool to cover the eyes and these areas so that they will not gather what? Dust. The microscope is not an instrument that you use for playing. If it's not in use, store them what? Properly. Out of dust. If you want to clean them, get the special liquid for cleaning them. And you see that the microscope will serve you for a long time before it goes out of this use. If you are thrilled by this lecture, as we usually say, click the red subscribe button so that our subsequent lectures can reach you immediately. Thank you and God bless you.